Hello and welcome. For this video, my best friend collected 1-star reviews of my favorite books, and I will have to guess which review is for which book. We all know Goodreads is the gathering place for introverts, geeks, and snobs. However, I also think it's the hidden meeting spot for comedians. So I have very high expectations for these bad reviews. Let's see how ridiculous they're gonna be. Now I have two files, one with the reviews and some hints in case I can't guess what a book is. The second one is with the actual answers. However, it's password protected and my best friend sent it to my boyfriend, so my boyfriend will be joining us from behind the camera so he can help with the video and so he can tell me if I've guessed right or wrong. Baba! Baba! Yeah! I had to read his book for school and now I'm on antidepressants. Coincidence? I think not. Okay, what are my favorite books? Something that's depressing. 1984?
Correct.
Yeah, hey! This is easy. Misogynistic view of the world. Gender existentialist. Men versus women at every turn. Most distressing concept of women in relationships. Sexualization of women. All men are portrayed as stupid fools who need to be guided by women but refuse guidance. I already know what this is. And he portrays all women as secretive, deceiving, and manipulative. No sense of equality between genders. Okay, this is the Wheel of Time. Yes, this is the Wheel of Time. However, okay, I will be one of those people who will say that you did not understand the book, okay? Because this is the whole point, okay? It's like patriarchy, let's just switch it to matriarchy and let's just observe all of the misunderstandings and how they influence us and how we see the other gender. And honestly, it's a really smart book and you didn't get it. Moving on. Thank you to everyone who recommended this. Unfortunately, I would like to set it on fire. This is giving me nothing. The Night Circus?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, hint. Let's see the hint. I have rarely read a more depressing and boring book than this one. Fortunately, it was written in ancient English, so I have learned some new words. If you love phrases like, thou hast to die, thou hast to accept they in your life and you won't be happy, then this is the perfect book for you. The perfect book for you. Is that Edgar Allan Poe?
Nope.
What do you mean no? Okay.
I can give you a hint of my own.
Oh, wait, what? For God's sake, Mark, tell me something I don't know. Meditations.
Yep.
Meditations, okay. How is meditations depressing is my question. That's what I would like to know. Because I found it very motivational. Like, how is it depressing for you? Okay, you do you. Anyway, moving on to number 4. There was a scene from the movie When Harry Met Sally in which the Billy Crystal character explains that he likes to read the end of the book first. This might be the book in which you may want to try this technique. You won't miss a thing if you try this and then spit some seeds into the closed window. And then there were none?
Yep.
I'm really good at this. This is easy. This is way too easy. I feel like this is actually going to be a short video probably, which is not a bad thing. One little soldier boy out of 5. Then an interesting British people talk politely about murder for about 250 pages. Valid. I can see that. I'm very confused. I just read 350 something pages where nothing happened. There was a lot of background, also a lot of running around, and a lot of secret plans being made. So, maybe I will change my mind, probably not though. A lot of running around and a lot of secret plans being made. Good Omens?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, hint. The only thing that was vicious, okay, was how badly I slammed the book down in boredom. Next. Vicious. That was,
Yep.
that hint just gave me the answer. Okay. What do you mean nothing happened in 350 pages in Vicious? Way too much happened in the 350 pages of Vicious. Real hard to finish. Had a lot of potential, but the writer's incessant need to make a stupid joke every third sentence really killed it for me. Would not recommend to anyone but those with the worst sense of humor. This could be Terry Pratchett. Is it a Terry Pratchett book?
Yep.
Yep, okay. So I have 2 of those in my favorites list. No, I have 3 of those in my favorite list. Is that Good Omens?
Nope.
Going Postal.
Nope.
Night Watch.
Nope.
What do you mean nope? Oh, sorry, not Night Watch. Guards.
Yep.
Okay. Guards is a masterpiece. You have no sense of humor. None at all. DNF. Monty Python meets Tolkien, but the humor was one note. DNF. You're just boring. Just say you're boring and move on. Jesus Christ, just have sex. That's Pride and Prejudice.
Yep.
Easy peasy. In my opinion, this is just a book about Victorian snobs talking about snobby things, and I don't like snobs. Fair. That's what the book is. My favorite character got turned into glue.
Huh?
I was forced to read this by my school. My favorite character got turned into glue? And read this in school. What? Is this Edgar Allan Poe?
Nope.
Yeah, because no one gets turned into glue. People just die. What would you read in school? Animal Farm?
Yep.
Who? What? Why? Did I just go to a very boring school? Like, I didn't have to read 1984. Not 1984, Animal Farm. Who reads Animal Farm at school? Embarrassingly simplistic reworking of the Russian Revolution. What a banal, poorly paced, over-padded, tedious... I don't have... masturbatory? How do you pronounce that? Exercise in cleverness. Like spending several hours sitting next to an unfunny comedian oozing smugness out of every pore, spouting tired observational humor while jabbing you in the ribs every couple of sentences. Religion, am I right? Bureaucracy, am I right? Traffic, am I right? Not worth it. Who hurt you? Good Omens.
Yep.
Too obvious, okay. DNF around 25%. So painfully long and nothing is happening. It's like a ton of vignettes that aren't really that related. Maybe if I was more in love with a coupling, I'd feel different, but it wasn't for me. With this coupling, Night Circus.
Nope.
Okay, is this Draco Malfoy?
Yep.
Draco Malfoy and the mortifying ordeal of being in love. What do you mean if you were more in love with this coupling? Why are you even reading this Hermione fanfiction if you don't like the couple? So slow. I was on page 378 and nothing happened. Then I looked that there were 1,700 pages total. Sorry, I couldn't do it. I mean, it is long. But I believe that actually a lot happens, that it's very funny. So, you do you. Each chapter is an interview with a survivor, a structure that makes the book astronomically dull and repetitive while also providing next to no insight into the reasons for the attack. That's underground. Yes?
Yep.
And I fully believe that it does provide insight into the reasons for the attack. And it's a book that's written very well with a lot of compassion, and you got a lot of very interesting stories of the victims and perpetrators and why it happened and how it happened, and it's very emotional, as I said. So you just have low emotional intelligence. Okay. No, I have no interest in reading about this Japanese event in history. Then why are you reading it? Why? Painfully sexist and cliche. Possibly the most overrated fantasy series of all time. Is that the Wheel of Time again?
Yep.
I gave up. Got halfway through the 4th book in series. Done. Do not love any character. Confusing. Books are so long, not worth it for me. What's confusing about the Wheel of Time is my question. We're getting quite close to the end. Nothing happened in this book. You know when you start reading a book and the writing is so fucking magical and you feel like you're in a fairy tale because the author's sentences flow like flower petals in the wind. And then you keep on reading and the writing is still fucking magical, but also nothing has really happened. And then you're at the end of the book where the writing is still so fucking magical, but still nothing happened. Yeah. That was this book, and that should be the Night Circus. Did not finish, I tried, too much pretty writing and too little actual plot. There was enough plot, okay? It was actually plot that you had to pay attention to and keep the timelines in check. you know? There was plot. Am I taking this a little bit too personally? Maybe? Do you think I'm taking this too personally?
Yep.
Everyone is entitled to their own opinions, okay? Okay. I kept waiting for the female characters to matter. Hint, they didn't. Is this going postal?
Nope.
No? DNF couldn't get into it, world building felt shallow, none of the characters were likable. As a collected series on the whole, it's a wonderful group of novels. However, several are standouts, including the first three. Remember to try to pace yourself. Is this a Wheel of Time again?
Nope.
Then what is this? Wait. What am I missing? We've done Pride and Prejudice. We've done Wheel of Time. Good Omens. Night Circus. Guards. No. Oh! The Great Book of Amber.
Yep.
What do you mean none of the characters were likable, and what do you mean that you waited for... Okay, fair. Okay, fine. Yeah, the female characters weren't that strong in this series, particularly. The point of the story is just the family as a whole and the two main characters that you follow, you know? Also, I don't really like this notion that constantly both the genders should matter in a book, because sometimes a book is written in a specific way for specific reasons, and we shouldn't really be taking down points for that because you don't see a specific type of representation, because a book can't cover everything, especially if it wants to focus more on the plot or the world building or whatever, you know? There is balance. There has to be some balance. We can't have everything all at once at the same degree. But anyway, I'm not gonna take this way too personally because I think I already did that way too much. That was it. That was a very quick video, which for me was fun, but I can definitely tell that I'm not really the best commentator when it comes to stuff like this. Anyway, I am fine with people disliking the books that I like. Again, everyone is entitled to their own opinions. I might be getting a little bit defensive at points, although I know I shouldn't. I didn't think I was going to be this defensive, but there are some books that I hold very, very dear to my heart. Specifically, The Wheel of Time and The Book of Amber and most of what Harry Pratchett has written. So, I will get defensive. Apologies. I was expecting for this video to be longer, but I guess I'm not really the best commentator because I don't really know what to say that won't be offensive, because I'm trying very hard to dial it down a little bit and just be more relaxed, you know, and not as judgmental towards other people's opinions of books, especially books that I like. But anyway, I am kind of disappointed in that I was expecting some funny reviews, but most of them were just average, I would say. If you enjoyed the video, I am also thinking of doing one where I just read the funny reviews that I find of the books that I like, or just some books that I've read, because there are some gems out there that I believe everyone should have the pleasure of reading and hearing, because some reviews are really like top-notch. Like chef's kiss, very good. With that said, thank you so much for watching. If you want to share your bad takes or good takes on my favorite books, please do. I am ready to laugh, and I promise I won't be too judgmental. I will keep my mouth shut. As always, any book recommendations are welcome. I do have a shelf on Goodreads where I record all of your book recommendations, and I go through it very slowly, painfully slowly, but I am going through it. If you do stumble across some very funny Goodreads reviews, then feel free to share them with me on my Instagram account, and I could possibly make a video compilation of that as well. Again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you read some wonderful books this month, and I will see you again next time. Bye bye!